Don't talk about what's gonna happen if we do so happen fall out on this stage. I just know if you throw any type of water on me, I'ma knock your fat ass the fuck out. Don't talk about how long you been ducking me, cause all these motherfuckers already aware of that. And last but not least, don't talk about how long I've been chasing you my fucking career. I didn't. I set a bear trap. Bitch, I got 100. Bitch.
URL Super Fight Smack's birthday currently going on. T-Top versus Swamp, a battle that has been in the talks for 2 or so years, and finally it has happened. And as T-Top said, you have been following me and wanting this battle for 2 years, and now it has finally happened. And I didn't do it because my business was not right, the stakes were low, they wanted it on Summer Madness, I don't know, I said no or something along those lines. But the battle has finally happened as was expected. This has been a personal battle, and they've not even shaken hands after the battle is done, like the previous battles. And as usually happens, it was promoted as a grudge match, and that is what it has been. There was no coin toss. Swamp started right out the gate. It seems he wanted to quiet a narrative, he wanted to quell a certain narrative, and that's what we are seeing here. He started his first round and sort of stating the ground rules and setting the terms and conditions of this battle moving forward and going forward. And don't talk about this, do not talk about this, talk about this, telling T-Top what to do and what not to do. He was preparing for what T-Top was about to say, because T-Top is lauded as one of the best anglers in battle rap, and I believe that Swamp wanted to neutralize that and go fast. T-Top went for longer when he went for his first round. Swamp had a couple of stumbles, a number of stumbles in his first round, and T-Top's round was longer. He had a longer round than Swamp's first round, way longer, and he talked about him being arrested and this T-Top saying this was his first criminal charge, selling weed, and him being an abusive man and abusing the partner and whatnot, and him being in jail, and now he has a monitor on his ankle monitoring his movements, getting in and out of humorous moments, and then having bars, but mostly centered on the angle about him and him being arrested and him being abusive. And that was the entire round, and he packaged it that way. Swamp had more punches in his first. T-Top was speaking to him, and this is the thing I have noticed just looking at the comments and reading the comments during the battle and even after the battle, that there seems to be a negative response to T-Top's angles, and you notice this with this battle, and the same thing also happened when he battled Coffee. And you have those same sentiments coming up. I hate T-Top's fake angles, away with these angles, the angles are gossip, the angles are this and that. And I have watched Mike P on his show Battle Rap 101, which happens on Caffeine, discuss angles a number of times. The thing is, you can only call an angle fake if you know the story. You know, and if you're battling someone and you're using an angle against them, they will try to respond and make faces and make body movements to suggest otherwise and to suggest that what you are saying is false. But if you are a fan and you're a listener and you do not have the backstory and you do not know what is going on or what happened, I don't think you can call an angle fake and you do not know this story. And I feel that's what is happening here, looking at the T-Top's battle and his angles. Also, one thing he did, he was using a book, and so he was speaking from the chapters. Chapter 1 talking about the arrest and the story about abuse. Chapter 2 talking about putting on for Carolina, him and Breeze. Chapter 3, he started with a joke and seemingly moving away from the book story, but after a few bars he brought it back and said, oh, we're reading a book and this is the last chapter of this book and the last chapter of this story. And he talked about him being paid by a white dude to have sex and how he has built that angle. He roped in Kid Chaos inside there, and that was his third round. And then he did not dwell on it as much as he did his first round, which was the angle entirely. The third, he left it at some point, and then he got to landing more punches and landing more haymakers, and also actually talking about the relationship between Swamp and his mother, and how his mother left him at 14 and how that has affected him as a man, and about the rate of abuse in Carolina. And then you had Swamp's third round was talking about cooking and and even T-Top joked about it before he started his third, that this nigga talked about cooking cooking crack the entire round, because he was making a certain comparison and giving people the recipe, whipping the stove top and doing this on another top, and that was his approach in the third round. I like T-Top's third way better, way better, with the haymakers that he was landing, with the haymakers and the writing and the approach he took. And now he was speaking to Swamp and dropping in the idea about masculinity and raising children and the relationship with his mom. And besides that, I think that Swamp focused more on cooking the crack more than talking to T-Top. He had 2 or 3 lines that were directed at T-Top and that landed well, but I think how he dwelt much on that round talking about the cooking the crack lost points for him. And then T-Top went and really talked to him. And the second also, T-Top's second was also fire, talking his shit, telling him that he's been putting on. Swamp also came through again, kind of rebattling what T-Top had talked about, but also attacking him and saying what T-Top would say to him and having those expectations. And then you have his first coming right out the gate with the rules and sort of terms and conditions. But this, he had a choke in the second round. He choked in the second round and he cut his third shot, and then he stumbled in the first. The argument here is this 3-0 in T-Top's favor or a 2-1 despite the stumble in Swamp's first, but the second and the third clear in T-Top's favor. And also the first with the stumble, the rules state if you stumble, that round goes to your opponent because you need to be clean through your material. Swamp himself, I think after his second, he said he messed it up, he fucked that up. And I think also ending the third, he said something to that effect. But interestingly, last I checked, I saw Swamp winning, and Swamp won the caffeine vote, which is quite interesting. The last battle is about to happen, Holo the Don versus Ramniti. Let's get to it.
You got your kids with you now? Well, I'm gonna lay them bitches flat. Call me Staples. I'm putting all them pages in a pack. You got 5 kids? 4 baby mamas? Bitch, why is you raising them like that? Just cause your mother gave you up at 14 don't mean you get to play with them like that. Yeah, I said it. Your mother straight gave up on your ass. And this is the result of when Brenda put her baby in the trash. You get a Swamp. You get a...